So I would like to begin by thanking you for this opportunity to sit with you this morning and accompany you as you discern the will of God in your life and how you're going to proceed with this topic. I would like for us to begin by connecting around um, a relaxation exercise. So if it's okay with you, I'd like to invite you to close your eyes and take a deep breath, a few deep breaths. And as you breathe, I want you to visualize your astral spine and the energy that is there from the root chakra, opening the lotus at each chakra, pausing at the heart, relaxing the heart, and continuing to move that energy through each chakra to your third eye. And I'd like you to take 3 more deep breaths with that in mind, with your spine straight and relaxing, your eyes gazing towards your third eye, your gaze towards your third eye. And there, as you take your third breath, pausing at the heart, relaxing the heart, and forming your question there, and taking that question right to the third eye and right out of the third eye into the cosmos with gratitude that all of the answers are there and you have access to all of the answers. I'd like you to take a deep breath and then just exhale naturally. And I have something that I'd like to read while you're still there in that space. Oh, Father, when I was blind, I found not a door that led to thee. Thou hast healed my eyes. Now I discover doors everywhere, the hearts of flowers, the voices of friendship, memories of lovely experiences. Each gust of my prayer opens a new entrance to the vast temple of thy presence, from whispers from eternity. Now I'd like for you to gradually open your eyes and come back to this space. And I received your focus for today, and you wanted to talk about the death of a good friend.
Yeah. So, I've been fortunate in my life that I haven't had to deal with a lot of death of people close to me, and I know that's probably rare, and that's a blessing.
Mhm.
Um, and so I have, because I haven't had to deal with it a lot. It was kind of tough when when my dog, who was my best friend, passed away. This was a few years ago, and so he was getting older. He was about 10, and but we had a really strong relationship in that, he everything I did, he did, and was always around me, and was that constant in my life every day, every hour of every day, and was always there. And he died suddenly. It was a little bit of a surprise, and so I had come home one day, and I had forgot my key. So I rang the doorbell for my wife to answer the door, because the door was locked. And I heard him, he wasn't good with doorbells. And so I heard my dog, and he was barking at the doorbell.
Mhm.
And by the time she had opened the door, he had had a heart attack. So I guess the doorbell and him getting upset and barking at it had got him fired up. And so by the time my wife had unlocked the door, he was laying on the floor. um and it went downhill from there. So obviously we tried to assist him as best we could. But there's nothing that could be done. Within minutes he had passed. And so you know, it was unfortunate, not, sometimes when you put a dog down or a dog gets older and you have time to say goodbye, and there wasn't that situation. It was just all of a sudden he was fine, and then bang, he was gone. And so that was part of it. And then the other part of it was, you tell yourself these stories of like, oh, if I didn't forget my key and ring the doorbell, and he wouldn't have got upset and whatever. And I guess my logical mind knows that, hey, it would have happened, I guess, eventually anyways. But you still feel that way a little bit, where it's like, uh, maybe if
Yeah.
that kind of thing. And so that's the strongest death that I've had to deal with in my life. And I don't talk about it much. Obviously I grieved at the time and my wife was very supportive. I don't talk about it much, but I do think about it once in a while, where it's just like, man, he was just gone. And so, yeah. And so that's, something that I think about from time to time. That's a little bit hard, challenging to deal with him just passing right away and not being able to say goodbye and that kind of stuff.
Mhm. Well, first of all, I'm very sorry to hear about the loss of your beloved friend,
Mhm.
circumstances under which it occurred. Um, as you talk about it, you said that you have these thoughts from time to time where you want to explore, what could have happened. And I wonder, are there any practices that you use to help you during those times that have been successful?
I haven't. No, it's something that comes into my head at random times a day, and so I haven't really brought it to any of my practice. I do meditate regularly and I have a spiritual practice, but I haven't brought it to that because when it does come, it comes at a random time of day, and so I haven't really done that. And um, I think that the other thing too is that sometimes it's and this is silly too, but it's sometimes a little silly, because when you have it, when you're talking to other people or whatever, and it's like everybody that I know has dealt with death in their lives, whether it be a mother or father, or someone close to their lives. And so then I feel a little bit silly at times bringing my dog to the table, but that is my experience, right? And so
Exactly. And the dog, and your dog was your friend, and so, and a living being created by God. So what do you believe about death? I think it's very important what you've mentioned so far about 5 times, is that this was your first significant loss with a
mhm.
death. And so, what do you believe about death?
Well, it's evolved over the years, and so um, now I'm in a place where I think at many years ago I wasn't sure, and now I'm getting more clear and more sure on the teachings of Paramahansa Yogananda and reincarnation, and I believe that. And so I think that, and I've read in his teachings that funny enough, that dogs are very close to their human incarnations. And so I do believe that our canine friends, because I still have dogs, it's possible that that the next time around for them could be a human existence, and maybe they could be a friend of mine in a different capacity. So this is in the last few years I'm starting to do more reading and research on this, and uh and that's sort of where my belief is lying these days.
I wonder if it's possible for you to imagine that you can continue your friendship with your friend, even though he's no longer in his physical form.
Mm-hmm.
Possible?
I think so, yeah,
Have
for
you
sure.
talked with him since he left this plane?
I have not. No, I
I
have
think
not.
it's possible if you're willing to try it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I I would like to lead you in a visualization. Um, if it's okay.
Yeah.
All right. Now, I don't know much about your friend, but you know all about your friend. It sounds like you all had a soul connection.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm very happy that you were there at his passing because it's very important to be with our loved ones, I think, for some of us when we're passing, especially when it sounds like a soulmate connection. It sounds like you were very connected to him. And so he did not have to go and take that journey alone.
Mm-hmm.
You were there, you and your wife were there with him. And so because of that, I think that you can reach out to him if you now and let me also say, I don't think that anything that you said is silly. Nothing that you said is silly. You're just a human being and you're just sharing your own experience. And I
Mm-hmm.
like to give you the permission, if you would like to give yourself permission, to visualize your friend
Sure.
and see if you can connect with him. And it could be that the reason that you are thinking about him is because his soul is reaching out and connecting to you. It
Mm.
sounds like it was a very good relationship. And so I'd like for you to take a deep breath and close your eyes. Mm. Open your heart. Take that energy right up your spine to your third eye, right through the third eye, and call his name in your heart and visualize him. Visualize him. See the light. Visualize the light. Brilliant, brilliant white light. And see him there. Let him know that you're thinking about him. And stay there as long as you want. Relax, relax, and just let yourself see him in the light. Mm. Let him know that there is a space for him in your life now. Wishing him well in his evolution, knowing that you and he are one because each of you are one with the cosmos. Letting him know that you rejoice in his evolution. Accepting that you are one, but all there is. And when you're ready, come back to this space. What kind of dog was he?
He was a boxer.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So what was that like? Was that helpful?
Mm-hmm. It felt good. I felt the energy flowing. It felt
Mhm.
good.
Yeah, I did too. I called out to him. I called him Buddy. I don't know his name, but I felt the energy. It was a very good energy. And so I want you to know that during your meditation or during the day, you can do that and see how
Mm.
quickly we visualize. We did the visualization. It doesn't take long. It takes being present and open to whatever the experience might be. But I want you to talk a little bit more about what you mean about you felt the energy.
Yeah, I just was very quickly able to feel sort of an energy or vibration at the third eye.
Mhm.
And that's something that usually takes some time in meditation, but it came very quickly.
Mhm.
um, and so I felt that energy there, and that there was a sort of a connection with something else.
Mhm. Yes. Connection with what you were talking about earlier about Yogananda's writings, the connection with all that there is, because while we are individual life streams, we are also part of God,
Hmm.
you know. And what you just did is you co-created with God an experience of your friend, because your
Hmm.
friend never died, the body died,
Hmm.
but the soul never died. And so that's what I was able to help you to do. And you can do that anytime. And I think it's very important that you are expanding your understanding of death to accept that the soul doesn't die.
Hmm.
We can always reach out and talk to or experience the energy of someone who has passed on. Sometimes it's more difficult, but because your relationship with your friend was so close, um, that's why you were quickly able to access your friend's presence. Mhm.
Hmm.
Is there anything else we need to talk about?
No, that was good. I think that my spiritual connection has been very concerned with this world.
Hmm.
And I think that this kind of gives me the reminder, or the inclination that part of it or more parts of it can go to a different world, and reaching out to a different world, and incorporating that in it. So
Yeah,
I like that part of it.
yeah, we're multidimensional, and even our bodies are multidimensional. And so um, I'm very happy that you were able to have the experience today, and I'm honored. When you sent me, when you sent me your concern, I said, "Okay, Lord, he and I are gonna have to figure this one out together."
Yeah,
And so I just appreciate you being so open and clear and articulating exactly what your concern is as you kind of expounded, today on the topic. So,
great, wonderful, thank you.
well, you're welcome. I'm going to stop the recording right now, and
Okay.
then what I will do is